Have you ever paused to consider a truth that runs contrary to everything we've been taught about the passage of time? What if the calendar, with its relentless turning of pages, is telling you only one part of your story? We live in a culture that often equates aging with an inevitable decline, a slow surrender to stiff joints, a foggy memory, and a world that gradually shrinks around us. We see it in the media, we hear it in casual conversation, and we may even feel its shadow creeping into our own expectations. But what if this narrative is fundamentally flawed? What if, hidden within the quiet rhythm of your daily life, there are powerful signals that you are not just growing older, but in a very real sense, growing younger? This is not a discussion about miracle cures or the denial of reality. Instead, it is a deep exploration into the concept of aging in reverse, a phenomenon where your biological age, the true age of your body's cells and systems, is significantly younger than your chronological age. The evidence for this isn't found in flashy accomplishments or a wrinkle-free face. It reveals itself in the subtle, everyday abilities that most people in their 80s have reluctantly surrendered, but that you may still possess. These are the quiet triumphs of a body and mind that are thriving, resilient, and brimming with a vitality that defies the numbers on a birth certificate. In this comprehensive analysis, we will uncover 8 unexpected things that the majority of octogenarians can no longer do with ease. As we journey through each of these remarkable signs, you will be invited to look at your own life, not as a testament to years past, but as a celebration of the strength you've retained. If you find yourself nodding in recognition, it may be a profound confirmation that you are not merely surviving the aging process, you are mastering it. Stay with us, because understanding these signs could fundamentally change how you see yourself, empowering you to recognize the incredible youthfulness that still pulses within you. Let us begin this journey of discovery together. The first and perhaps most foundational sign of this remarkable vitality is the ability to walk briskly for 30 minutes without succumbing to exhaustion. Picture this. You step out your front door, the air is crisp, and you set off at a pace that is purposeful and steady. Your arms swing in rhythm, your breathing is deep but controlled, and your legs carry you forward with confident momentum. If this scenario is familiar to you, you are demonstrating a level of physical wellness that many people decades younger might envy, and that has become a distant memory for most in their 80s. This simple act is, in reality, a complex symphony of bodily systems performing in perfect harmony. It is a testament to your cardiovascular endurance, your respiratory capacity, your muscular strength, and the intricate coordination of your nervous system. Let's break down what is truly happening during that half-hour walk. Your heart, a resilient and powerful muscle, is pumping oxygenated blood efficiently to every corner of your body without being overworked. Your lungs are effectively drawing in air, extracting the precious oxygen, and distributing it to your working muscles. Those muscles in your legs, hips, and core are firing in a synchronized, sustained pattern, propelling you forward without cramping or fatiguing prematurely. Simultaneously, your joints, especially the critical hubs of your hips, knees, and ankles, are moving with fluidity and alignment, free from the grinding pain and stiffness that plagues so many. Hovering over this entire operation is your brain's balance system, a sophisticated network of sensory inputs from your inner ear, your eyes, and your nerves, all working together to ensure you remain stable, upright, and sure-footed.
For a vast number of individuals in their 80s, this symphony has fallen out of tune. A short stroll to the mailbox can feel like a monumental effort. Their breath becomes shallow and rapid. Their legs feel heavy as lead, and their pace slows to a cautious, shuffling gait as the fear of a fall looms large. When you, however, can maintain a brisk, purposeful stride for a full 30 minutes, and perhaps even feel invigorated afterward, you are sending a clear message. Your cardiovascular engine is still running smoothly, and your musculoskeletal framework remains robust. If you find this first point about maintaining physical momentum to be a valuable insight, please comment with the number 1 below to let us know you're connecting with this foundational concept of vibrant aging. There is an even deeper benefit at play here, one that extends far beyond physical fitness. Neurologists and cognitive health experts increasingly champion brisk walking as one of the most potent activities for preserving brain health. The increased blood flow it generates doesn't just nourish your muscles, it floods the brain, particularly areas like the hippocampus, which is central to memory and learning. This process encourages the growth of new neurons and strengthens existing connections, acting as a powerful defense against age-related cognitive decline. So, that daily walk is not just keeping your body strong, it's actively fortifying the fortress of your mind. Consider the story of Lillian, an 82-year-old woman who lives in a small, sun-drenched town on the California coast. Every morning, just as the sun begins to warm the Santa Monica boardwalk, Lillian puts on her well-worn sneakers and begins her walk. Her pace isn't hurried, but it is unshakably firm. She uses no cane, takes no breaks. There is just the steady rhythm of her stride against the wooden planks and a serene light in her eyes. One day, a younger neighbor jogging past called out, "Lillian, don't you ever get tired?" Without breaking her stride, she smiled and replied, "Only from sitting still for too long." That sentiment captures the very essence of aging in reverse. It is the drive to move forward, both literally and figuratively, that separates those who merely age from those who continue to live with purpose and passion. So, if you can take that 30-minute walk and feel refreshed, do not take it for granted. It is your body's declaration of endurance, strength, and momentum, one of the surest signs that your biological clock is ticking much, much slower than the one on the wall. Another powerful, though far more private, indication that you are aging in reverse reveals itself when the lights go out. It is the profound and increasingly rare gift of sleeping soundly through the entire night without waking. For the vast majority of people over 80, the night is a fragmented landscape of tossing and turning and multiple trips out of bed before the sun rises. If you are someone who can lay your head on the pillow and not stir until morning, waking up feeling genuinely restored, you are experiencing a level of physiological harmony that is exceptional. This isn't just good luck, it's a direct reflection of a brain and body that remain deeply synchronized and resilient. As we age, our sleep architecture, the natural cycle of different sleep stages, undergoes a significant transformation. We tend to spend less time in the deep, restorative phases of sleep and more time in the lighter, more easily disturbed stages. When you couple this natural shift with common age-related issues like an overactive bladder, persistent joint pain, or a mind that races with anxieties, it is no wonder that a full, uninterrupted night of rest becomes an elusive prize. But if you are consistently waking up feeling refreshed, with little to no memory of the night passing, it signifies that your internal regulatory systems are functioning at a much younger level. Your nervous system is calm, your hormonal regulation is balanced, and your body is not sending out the distress signals that so often interrupt sleep in older adults.
The importance of this cannot be overstated. High-quality sleep is not merely about staving off tiredness. It is the cornerstone of holistic health. During those precious hours of deep rest, your brain diligently works to consolidate memories, clearing out the metabolic debris that accumulates during waking hours. a process now understood to be vital in preventing neurodegenerative diseases. Your immune system recalibrates and strengthens, preparing you to fight off illness. Your body undertakes critical cellular repair, mending tissues and reducing inflammation. When you sleep through the night, you are allowing this essential maintenance crew to do its job without interruption. If these insights into the restorative power of sleep have brought you value, please support the channel by hitting the like button, subscribing to the channel, and remembering to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our future deep dives into health and well-being. Think about just how rare this experience is. Many octogenarians are conditioned to wake every 2 to 3 hours, whether due to a physical need, a nagging ache, or a mind that refuses to quiet down. When your sleep remains a long, unbroken journey, it is a clear sign that your body isn't plagued by these common disruptors. It suggests your bladder function remains strong, your joints are not chronically inflamed, and your mind has achieved a state of peace. Take Eleanor, for instance, an 81-year-old living in the misty hills of Oregon. Every morning at 6:30, she is out walking her golden retriever, a noticeable pep in her step and a cheerful greeting for every neighbor she passes. When asked about her secret to such consistent energy and good cheer, she simply said, "I sleep like a rock, 8 hours straight. No TV in the bedroom, no late-night snacks, just my warm blanket and a clear conscience." In that simple statement lies a profound truth about what healthy aging truly looks like. So, if you are able to go to bed and wake up without a series of nightly interruptions, you are not just fortunate. You are exhibiting a powerful sign that your body is still operating like a well-oiled machine, allowing you to fully rest, recover, and reset every single night. You might not immediately think of your stomach as an indicator of youth, but your digestive system tells a story about your biological age that is far more profound than most people realize. If you find you can still sit down to a hearty, complex meal, perhaps a thick, juicy steak with all the trimmings, a spicy bowl of Texas chili, or a rich, cheesy plate of lasagna, and suffer no ill effects like bloating, acid reflux, or lingering discomfort, you are displaying one of the most overlooked yet significant signs of aging in reverse. For the majority of people in their 80s, this kind of culinary indulgence is a thing of the past. As we get older, our digestive system naturally becomes more sensitive and less efficient. The production of stomach acid, which is essential for breaking down proteins, often decreases. The smooth muscles of the intestines that propel food along its journey can weaken, and the delicate lining of the gut itself may become less resilient. This combination of factors leads to a digestive process that is slower and less effective, resulting in more gas, indigestion, and a heavy, leaden feeling that can last for hours after a meal. This is precisely why many older adults begin to meticulously curate their diet, avoiding foods they once cherished. It's not because their tastes have changed, but because their bodies can no longer handle the challenge. But if you are still savoring a Sunday pot roast or a fiery plate of enchiladas without reaching for the antacids or needing to recline on the sofa afterward, you are experiencing something genuinely remarkable. It signifies that your digestive enzymes are still being produced in ample supply, your gut microbiome is likely diverse and balanced, and your accessory organs like the liver and gallbladder are performing their duties with youthful efficiency.
This kind of internal harmony is a true marker of deep health. Let's imagine George, a retired postman from Austin, Texas, who just celebrated his 84th birthday. Every Friday, he and his daughter have a standing date at their favorite barbecue joint. He'll order a full rack of ribs, a side of cornbread, and spicy baked beans. His daughter often jokes, "Dad, you still eat like you're 40." But the real story isn't just his robust appetite, it's the aftermath, or rather, the lack thereof. There are no complaints of heartburn on the car ride home, no upset stomach the next day, just a clean plate and a contented grin. That is not just simple enjoyment, it is a physiological testament to a body that is aging at a much slower pace than the norm. Do you have a favorite hearty meal that you can still enjoy without issue? Share your story in the comments section. We'd love to hear about the foods that still bring you joy and comfort. People often underestimate the powerful connection between digestive health and overall vitality. A healthy gut is now widely recognized as the second brain, intricately linked to our mood, cognitive function, and immune response. A well-functioning digestive system means you are properly absorbing all the vital nutrients from your food, preventing deficiencies that are common struggles among seniors. It also means you are less likely to deal with the chronic discomfort of constipation or bloating, issues that can significantly diminish one's quality of life. Therefore, if you are someone who can still indulge in rich, flavorful meals without the subsequent digestive drama, you should give yourself a moment of recognition. It means your internal orchestra of organs, enzymes, acids, and bacteria is still performing a beautiful symphony. This quiet internal resilience is a powerful sign that you are not just surviving into your later years, you are still thriving from the inside out. One of the most visually clear and scientifically supported indicators that you are aging in reverse is your ability to sit down into a chair and stand back up without using your hands for support or grabbing onto something for balance. At first glance, this might seem like a trivial movement, but for a great many people in their 80s, these simple transitions have become daily conscious struggles. If you can perform this action effortlessly, lowering yourself into a seat with control and rising from it with smooth power, it is a definitive sign that your leg strength, core stability, and neuromuscular coordination are still functioning at an impressively high level. Why is this specific movement so critically important? Because it is directly and inextricably linked to your personal independence. When you can implicitly trust your body to support its own weight through this fundamental range of motion, you move through the world with greater confidence. This confidence translates into a lower risk of falls, which are a leading cause of serious injury and loss of independence in older adults. It means you are more able to participate fully in the activities you enjoy, whether it's kneeling down to tend your garden, browsing the lower shelves at the grocery store, or simply getting up from the couch to answer the front door without a moment's hesitation. Now consider just how many times a day you transition between sitting and standing. Most of us don't count, but it happens dozens, if not hundreds of times. For an individual whose muscles have atrophied or whose balance has declined, each of these moments becomes a calculated obstacle. They may need to strategically plant their hands on their knees, push off forcefully from an armrest, or even avoid low-slung chairs and couches altogether. It becomes a constant, nagging reminder that their body is failing them.
But not for you. If you can rise from a chair with a fluid, easy motion, it is proof that the large muscles of your thighs and glutes are still strong and responsive. It shows that your spine is stable and your core muscles are engaged. And it demonstrates that your intricate balance systems, your inner ear, your vision, and your body's internal sense of its position in space, known as proprioception, are all communicating in perfect harmony. This isn't just a nice bonus. It's concrete evidence that your personal aging trajectory has diverged from the common path of decline. That was the fourth powerful sign of a body that's younger than its years. If you're finding this analysis of functional strength valuable and can still perform this action with ease, please comment with the number 4 below to let us know. Let me share an observation from a community center in Savannah, Georgia just last week. A man named Harold, 83 years old, was finishing a lively game of cards with a few friends.
When the game concluded, his table mates began the process of standing up. One leaned heavily on the table, another let out a soft grunt as he pushed off the chair's arms, but Harold was already standing by the window, waiting patiently. He had risen in one silent, seamless motion. One of the ladies noticed and remarked, "Harold, you're quicker on your feet than all of us." He just offered a gentle smile and said, "It's all the squats I do when no one's watching." That, right there, is the spirit of aging in reverse. This small act of standing without support represents a quiet form of power. It's a daily reaffirmation that your body still listens to your commands, that your muscles have not forgotten their purpose, and that your independence is not a fading memory, but a vibrant, present-day reality. In our socially interconnected world, one of the most quietly impressive signs that your mind is aging in reverse is the ability to remember new names quickly and accurately. For most individuals navigating their 80s, name recall becomes one of the most common and frustrating cognitive hurdles. You recognize the face with perfect clarity, you might even recall the context of your last meeting, but the name itself hovers just out of reach, a phantom on the tip of your tongue. If you are still able to meet someone new at a party, a community event, or a family gathering and confidently recall their name days or even weeks later, your brain is firing on all cylinders in a way that is truly exceptional for your age. Short-term memory, particularly the faculty responsible for encoding and retrieving new information like a name, is one of the cognitive functions that tends to decline most noticeably with age. The brain's ability to rapidly form a new neural association, linking a face to a name, and then retrieve it on demand, often loses its sharpness. But if this hasn't been your experience, it is a strong indication that the neural pathways in your brain, especially within the hippocampus, the critical hub for memory formation, remain healthy, plastic, and highly active. This is not the norm at 80. It is a sign of a brain that has been well maintained and continues to be challenged. What's your own experience with memory and names? We'd love to hear your thoughts or any tips you might have in the comments. And if you're enjoying this deep dive into cognitive health, a like and subscribe would mean the world to us.
When you can remember names with ease, it demonstrates more than just a good memory. It suggests a high level of cognitive engagement. It shows that you are actively paying attention in social situations, that you are genuinely connecting with the people around you, and that you are making a conscious effort to process your experiences. This mental engagement is itself a powerful antidote to cognitive decline. Furthermore, let's be honest about the social impact. Remembering someone's name is a fundamental act of respect and validation. It makes people feel seen, valued, and important. It instantly builds rapport and leaves a lasting positive impression. If you can walk into a room, greet someone by name, and perhaps even ask about something you discussed previously, you are displaying not just mental acuity, but a high degree of emotional intelligence as well. Consider the real-life example of Walter, an 85-year-old who volunteers at a veteran support center in Ohio. He interacts with dozens of people every week, from staff and visitors to fellow vets. What consistently amazes everyone is his flawless recall of their names. A young nurse at the center once shared, "He remembers my name, and he remembers my daughter's name, and he only met her once at the holiday potluck last year." Walter doesn't rely on fancy mnemonic tricks. He simply listens with genuine interest, cares about the people he meets, and stores that information away with the efficiency of a seasoned pro. That kind of mental clarity is rare at any age, let alone 85. Being able to recall a name is not about showing off. It is a profound signal that your brain is still forging meaningful new connections, that your cognitive flexibility hasn't been dulled by time, and that you remain deeply engaged with the world. In a society where so many of your peers are beginning to struggle with recall, your ability to remember a name is a small act that signifies a much larger truth. Your mind is still agile, and you are aging exceptionally well.
One of the most telling physical assessments of youthful aging, and one that often goes unmentioned, is your ability to get down on the floor and then get back up again with ease and confidence. This may sound like a simple, almost childlike action, but it is a movement that a significant number of people in their 80s actively and consciously avoid. If you can accomplish this feat without a cascade of groans, without needing to grab onto a sturdy piece of furniture for leverage, or without the fear of being stranded once you're down there, you are showcasing a rare and precious combination of flexibility, functional strength, balance, and self-trust that most people your age have lost. Why does this single movement carry so much weight? Because the floor represents a fundamental test of your entire body working as an integrated unit. To get down to the ground and back up, a whole series of biomechanical events must occur in a coordinated sequence. Your knees have to bend deeply and without pain. Your hips must possess the mobility to flex and rotate. Your arms and shoulders need the strength to potentially support your body weight, and your core muscles have to engage powerfully to stabilize your spine and coordinate the entire movement.
For most seniors, one or more parts of this system have weakened or stiffened over time, making the entire proposition feel risky and daunting. But not for you. If you are still able to kneel down to pick something up, sit on the carpet to play with a grandchild, or even stretch out on a mat during a yoga session, you are maintaining a level of physical freedom that is far beyond what is expected for your chronological age. This ability is a true testament to comprehensive health. If you agree, let us know by commenting with the number 6 below. Your interaction helps us understand what resonates most with you. Consider the profound psychological impact of this ability. Many older adults develop a legitimate fear of the floor. They worry that if they fall, they won't be able to get back up, a scenario that could lead to serious consequences. This fear causes them to shrink their world. They stop engaging in activities that might require them to get low, which in turn limits their physical activity and can accelerate a cycle of decline. But when you retain the strength and coordination to rise smoothly from the ground, you are making a powerful declaration to yourself and the world. I am still in command of my body. You are not trapped by physical limitations. You possess a freedom of movement that many of your peers have reluctantly surrendered. Let me tell you about Carol, an 80-year-old from Michigan who teaches a gentle stretch class in her local church basement. At the end of each session, she guides her students to gather in a circle on the floor for a final breathing exercise. Carol sits among them, cross-legged and poised. When the class is over, she rises to her feet in a single fluid motion. There is no wobbling, no hand reaching for a nearby chair, no hesitation, just a graceful ascent and a warm smile. Her students often say, "I want to be able to move like Carol when I'm 80. What they are really saying is, "I want to age with that kind of grace and capability." So, if you are someone who can still get down and back up with relative ease, take a moment to be truly proud of that capacity. It means your body remains a cooperative partner, your joints are still pliable, and your strength has not abandoned you. You are not just staying mobile, you are staying fundamentally youthful. Something as seemingly simple as a handshake can speak volumes about the way you are aging. If you are still able to grip someone's hand with confident firmness, twist open a stubbornly sealed jar of pickles, or carry a heavy bag of groceries from the car to the kitchen without wincing in pain or feeling your strength fail, you are demonstrating a type of deep systemic resilience that many octogenarians have long since let go of. Grip strength is far more than just a measure of power in your hands and forearms. It is a scientifically recognized and remarkably accurate proxy for your overall muscular health, the efficiency of your nervous system, and even your cardiovascular vitality.
As people advance in age, one of the first and most noticeable areas to weaken is the hands. Everyday tasks that were once performed automatically, buttoning a shirt, turning a stubborn doorknob, or unscrewing the cap from a water bottle, can transform into frustrating and sometimes impossible challenges.
This decline in grip strength does more than just chip away at one's independence. It often serves as an early warning sign of broader declines occurring throughout the body, particularly the loss of lean muscle mass, sarcopenia, and a slowdown in nerve communication. However, if your grip remains strong and steady, it is a compelling sign that your body has not followed this typical downward trajectory. It signifies that your muscle fibers are still well maintained and engaged, that your tendons and joints in the hand and wrist are still flexible, and that your brain is still capable of sending powerful, precise signals to your extremities with speed and accuracy. This isn't just a sign of functional aging, it's a hallmark of exceptional aging. Have you noticed your grip strength staying strong? Or do you have tips for maintaining it? Share your experiences in the comments section. And remember to hit that notification bell so you don't miss our future content on practical health strategies. Here's a fact you may not know. Numerous large-scale medical studies have demonstrated that grip strength is one of the most reliable predictors of future health outcomes and longevity in older adults. A physician can measure it with a simple handheld device called a dynamometer, and the reading often provides more insight into a person's biological age and risk of future health events than their blood pressure or cholesterol levels. That is how deeply significant it is. A strong grip is strongly correlated with a strong body, a body that is successfully holding on to its vitality. Think of Stanley, an 86-year-old grandfather who was helping his granddaughter fix her bicycle. She was struggling, unable to loosen a rusted nut holding the tire in place. Without a word, Stanley crouched down, took the wrench, and with one solid, deliberate motion, the nut broke free. His granddaughter looked at him, stunned, and said, "Grandpa, how did you do that?" He just smiled and replied, "These old hands still work." That moment is more than a charming family anecdote, it's a message. A strong grip also contributes to better balance and fewer falls, as your hands are able to grab onto a railing or piece of furniture for support when needed. It makes daily life more manageable and enjoyable. So, the next time you shake someone's hand and they remark, "Wow, you've got a strong grip," take it as more than a casual compliment. See it as a reflection of how beautifully your body is aging, how resilient your systems remain, and how you are truly holding on tight to your best years. Finally, we arrive at what may be the most beautiful and profound sign that you are aging in reverse, one that has less to do with muscles and bones and everything to do with the spirit. If you still find yourself laughing out loud from the belly, cracking a playful joke, or enthusiastically jumping into a spontaneous activity without a moment's hesitation, you are exhibiting a rare and precious quality, emotional youth. This capacity for joy, the ability to express silliness, and the flexibility to adapt to unplanned moments is something that many older adults gradually lose as life's routines and reservations take hold. But if your spirit remains light, your laughter comes easily, and your sense of fun is still very much intact, you are holding on to the very essence of youth. As the years accumulate, it is common for people to become more serious, cautious, and set in their ways. Life inevitably brings its share of responsibilities, heartaches, and disappointments. Over time, many individuals stop engaging in activities for the sheer, unadulterated joy of it. They began to utter phrases like, "I'm too old for that," or "that's for the young folks," effectively building a wall around their own sense of play. But those who continue to laugh freely, who say yes to an unexpected invitation to dance in the kitchen or join a grandchild in a silly game, are often the ones who feel the youngest on the inside, regardless of the date on their driver's license. This eighth sign is truly about the spirit. If you believe in the power of play and laughter at any age, comment with the number 8 to celebrate this idea with us. Spontaneity and playfulness are not just personality quirks. They are direct reflections of a healthy, neuroplastic brain and an emotionally resilient heart. When you can laugh at yourself or find humor in an absurd or frustrating situation, you are demonstrating high-level cognitive flexibility, your brain's remarkable ability to shift perspectives and let go of rigid negative thinking. This mental agility is a key ingredient in keeping your mind sharp and your emotions balanced. The health benefits are significant. Studies have consistently shown that older adults who continue to engage in playful, joyful activities have lower levels of the stress hormone cortisol, better cardiovascular health, and even stronger immune systems. Laughter itself is a potent form of medicine. It boosts circulation, relaxes tense muscles, and triggers a flood of feel-good neurochemicals like endorphins. Let's close with the story of Ethel, an 84-year-old firecracker from Texas. Every Sunday after church, her great-grandchildren gather at her house, and the main event is always a game of charades. Ethel is not a passive spectator. She is an enthusiastic participant. When it's her turn, she gets animated and dramatic, throwing her whole self into the performance. Her rendition of "A Chicken Crossing the Road" is legendary, capable of making the entire room erupt in helpless, unified laughter. Someone once asked her, "Ethel, what's your secret to staying so young?" She winked and said, "I just never stopped playing." And that, right there, is the secret. If you are still someone who laughs loudly, plays freely, and embraces life's unexpected invitations, you are living proof that joy does not fade with age. It only deepens. Your ability to find delight in the little things is a powerful indicator that you are not just aging well, you are aging backward, with a smile on your face and joy in your every step. As we bring our exploration to a close, take a moment to reflect on these 8 powerful signs we've uncovered. From the steady rhythm of a brisk morning walk to the easy grace of rising from a chair, to the sharp recall of a new friend's name, to the uninhibited joy of a shared laugh, these abilities may seem ordinary on the surface, but in the context of aging, they are truly extraordinary. They are quiet yet definitive indicators of a body and mind that are functioning with a youthfulness that defies chronology. If you recognized yourself in even a few of these signs, it is a powerful affirmation that you are cultivating a life of remarkable vitality. So often, our society focuses on the superficial markers of aging, the gray hairs, the lines on our skin. But true youthfulness runs much deeper. It lives in the strength of your grip, the soundness of your sleep, the clarity of your thoughts, and the lightness of your spirit. The goal is not to achieve perfection or to turn back time in a literal sense. The goal is presence. It is having the strength to move with freedom, the clarity to engage with the world, and the spirit to embrace joy in all its forms. And the most beautiful part of this journey is that no matter your age, you can continue to nurture these qualities every single day. Ask yourself now, how many of these signs did you recognize in your own life? Which ones surprised you? And more importantly, which ones fill you with a sense of pride? Whether it's your ability to digest a favorite meal or to get down on the floor to play with a pet, celebrate it. Each one is a precious reminder that your age does not define your ability, your energy, or your capacity for joy. What is the one thing you'll do today to honor the youthfulness that still resides within you? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Your support helps us continue to create meaningful content. We look forward to seeing you again soon.